Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to another reaction video. It's another oddheader one. This is like the most random reactions I do, I think. It's just every few months I'm like, I'll do an oddheader reaction. Anyway, so this is 10 craziest patches and updates to video games. I'm not gonna lie, that thumbnail. Anyway, so link in the description. Go watch. Go do it. Is this in the remake? It doesn't look like remake. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Sometimes you find something in a video game, the developers make sure
Crazy text.
This is why today we're diving into the strangest patches and updates that were ever found in video games.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is a super dope game I've sunk a lot of time into recently.
Goddamn right.
Released in early 2024 for PlayStation 5 and soon to be released for PC in June this year.
When it comes to PC, there will be fun to be had.
Apocalyptic adventure, where a soldier named Eve is sent to defeat an invasion of mysterious creatures called Nativas. Although much of the attention at release centered around Eve and her portrayal. Though personally, I think Eve is a super fierce and empowering leading lady in a super kick-ass adventure.
Yeah.
However, another
hell yeah, see, now that's what we need.
More unusual controversy also surrounded the game at release. As when players installed the game on day one, they received a patch with a note that said,
oh yeah, the N-word one.
Some problematic text in the graffiti drawn on the walls in Zion.
And Shopper.
Not exactly the first thing you want to see when you install a game. It turns out this is referencing tweets like this one posted by Lance
Hard R, there you go.
Donald, who shared that in the Zion location next to where you can trade with the shady info dealer Roxanne.
Alright. I really do believe that was a mistake and they didn't realize. They were like, oh, what would be cool graffiti here? It just says hard. That sounds cool. And they call the shop our shop. It's like a perfect collision of nobody noticing something so
there was
obvious.
Graffiti on the wall.
Sometimes the most obvious thing is the thing you don't notice.
Reading hard, right next to the letter R.
Hard R?
Yeah.
To be fair, when I was growing up, hard R just meant like an R-rated movie that was very, very violent. Like, that movie's a hard R, bro.
Closely.
But, you know, it could also mean the other thing.
Some suspected that this was maybe an unfortunate joke that's supposed to be referencing Roxanne being a badass bee you don't want to mess with. But having played the game as much as I have spotted the same hard graffiti in some other innocuous locations.
Hard D? What does that mean? What are you saying? See? D21? What does 21 mean? Huh? Because there's drinking? Are you saying I should get her drunk and then stroke? Wait, what does that actually say? What does that fucking sign says? So, would that be say? Drink good beer with good friends. Oh, right. Well, I'm fucked either way.
And given the developers are South Korean and work closely with Sony, I'm going to assume they weren't purposely trying to make a blatant reference to a slur, and that this is maybe a super unfortunate cultural
crime R? Well, now what does that mean?
Oversight that led to one incredibly awkward patch update. Still a great game, though.
Crime?
The Sims 4. The Sims 4.
Yeah, there's they patched a working game because the fucking game wouldn't work the fucking day it came out.
It's the most recent.
That was crazy that they had to do that.
Installment in the social simulation series, released in 2014. While we've certainly covered some unbelievable discoveries in The Sims before, such as what happens under the covers when the Sims woohoo, or what appears to be a removed ability to microwave pet guinea pigs, it may not be as creepy as what Sim 4 players had to experience after an update to the game. As in August of 2022, EA issued a patch to the game, which added features such as body hair and new wants and fears. Well, it definitely added some new fears, not just for Sims, but also for players. As after the update, players reported their Sims wanted to date their family members, such as one player who reported their Sim wanted her son to be her boyfriend.
What?
Another player who said their Sim wanted to ask out his twin sister, or this player whose Sim wanted to ask out her father.
Hell yeah.
Unsurprisingly,
ain't my family.
They agreed to patch out this bug as soon as they found out about it, and afterward updated the patch notes to say the ask to be a boyfriend/girlfriend feature now only targets appropriate Sims. That's a relief because I'm sure
thank God.
Wanted to play a normal game.
But I already married my sister. Fuck.
Not The Sims 4.
Now what?
Red Edition. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a popular multiplayer horror game where you can choose to be a killer hunting down victims to impale.
Why do I
or
want
one
to choose to be a friend?
of the victims screaming in terror. The game is known for its crossover DLCs with other horror franchises. However, the Silent Hill DLC added a bit of an unusual controversy to the game. The DLC released in June of 2020, adding Silent Hill character Cheryl Mason as a survivor.
Hey, whoa, spoilers. Did they just straight up call her Cheryl Mason?
And the Executioner as the killer.
I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Executioner, also known as Pyramid Head, is one of the most popular Silent Hill characters, usually seen cosplayed at every
Oh my god, ew. Look at all that excess skin.
major gaming con.
That's like a suit that guy has on, right? Because then I'll feel bad. No, it definitely is. It's like it almost looks like latex. That's a good looking fucking cosplay than that, but I just saw like I'd feel really bad if that was his actual body. I'm sorry.
Apparently,
I'm assuming that's like just to make it look like he had muscles, so they put like a muscle suit on.
also one of the thickest, as once the DLC released, Dead by Daylight players couldn't help but point out how that ass looked underneath his robe, quickly making Pyramid Head thirst trap memes. With
Oh no, really?
an ass like that, players were probably hoping to be captured.
I mean, they already kind of did the thirst trap shit with him in the movie, where when it made him just like fucking like shirtless and he looked like a fucking WWE wrestler where he's all oiled up and shit.
Pyramid Head. However, players wanting to get the DLC solely for that pyramid ass were sorely disappointed. Shortly after the DLC's release, angry Pyramid Head stands made the accusation that the
got the Pyramid Head and they nerfed his ass. I hate it
nerfed
here.
his ass in an update, as it appeared to be smaller than before.
Wow, I can't believe you guys would objectify men like this. God, anyway, where's that mannequin?
Polygon reached out
Pyramid Head needs to know.
to the developer and got a response from the game's director, who denied that they touched Pyramid Head's ass, but admitted they patched the game to make changes to his apron, which perhaps created the illusion of a smaller badonkadonk, ending with we leave it up to our
for April Fool's Day, they should have made his ass humongous.
Players to discuss whether the change in garment has had a significant impact on his butt and how that will affect his performance as a killer. Well, obviously,
well, yeah, it won't weigh him down anymore.
This would have an enormous impact on him as a killer, considering now he can no longer knock out other players with that ass.
Oh no!
Forbidden West. Thanks to Kep for submitting this discovery on the odd.
Nothing makes a character more scary than having a giant ass.
Discord.
So I'm glad they did that, because man, now I'm really afraid of Pyramid Head. I think Pyramid Head's like way too exposed, and I don't mean like that. Because like every time like I see him, I go more so than even though I say that, but in Silent Hill 2 remake, I'm sure once I fucking see him, I'll shit my pants again.
Horizon Forbidden West released in 2022, which stars one of my favorite game characters.
You're not gonna say Aloy, right?
Aloy, as
who? That's like saying Wet Sand is your favorite character.
she fights robot
She has about the
dinosaurs in her
personality
quest to save the world. Horizon Forbidden West also provided some serious Aloy fan service, though maybe not intentionally. As shortly after the game release, the Spanish YouTuber Axel Sparta discovered that by using the photo mode and zooming in while Aloy had on a certain set of armor, you could see that she had extremely detailed Aloy olas, and she looks a little cold, which Sony apparently never wanted anyone to see.
What the fuck? Then why the fuck did you ever model it so she had nipples?
They issued a copyright claim to get the video taken down, and then patched Aloy's extra assets out of the game. While the video was eventually re-uploaded to YouTube without issue. It makes sense that after this, some fans believe the game should be renamed to Horizon Forbidden Breast. Thanks to Bobby for documenting this discovery that was never meant to be found.
But I don't even understand. What is it, like rope here, rope there, and then nipples straight out?
Showing us how much extra time the developers over at Gorilla had on their hands. I mean, Portal 2. Portal 2.
One developer was like, ooh, they'll never find out. They found out instantly.
Released in 2011 from Valve.
I love this game.
One of my favorite games ever. As unlikely as Half-Life 3.
Yep.
There is still the pirate version of Portal 2. And no, I don't mean a pirated, illegal version of the game. I'm talking about the version of Portal 2 that uses literal pirate speech. As for some reason, on October 31st, 2018, 7 years after the game's release, Valve issued an update to the game that included translations for a pirate language setting. However, it doesn't appear the pirate setting was ever finished, as it can't be be accessed in the game's default language settings. Though if you launch the game
I heard
with the
about
launch
this.
parameter dash language
Yeah, I think you could still. Yeah, okay.
pirate, you may find yourself saying "Shiver me timbers." With this setting, some of the game's text is changed, such as the options here, like "quit" being changed to "abandon ship," and some of the subtitles for the voice lines are now translated into pirate as well. It remains a mystery why Valve decided to randomly add an unfinished pirate language setting to Portal 2.
I bet they were just like, all right, let's work on this. This would be funny, and then they said, no, that's not. But let's make it so that people can access it if they're.
As it wasn't added on International Talk Like a Pirate Day, that's September 19th, and it doesn't appear to be part of an anti-piracy measure or any other known discovery. What I can say is that it is unfortunate this feature was never properly finished, as it definitely teases what could have otherwise been an amazing pirate adventure. For letting us down for a new way to play Portal 2, someone ought to be walking the plank for abandoning ship on this one. Assassin's Creed 2. Ooh. Assassin's Creed 2 released in 2009 and was popular enough to get remastered in 2016.
It was very popular. It's really the beginning of the series. Assassin's Creed 1 is not great and was very disappointing for a lot of people. I know some people love it, but I remember being so excited for that game, and then I played it, and I'm like, yeah!
Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection. And with
right.
the remaster's new fidelity, fans could enjoy the game at a higher resolution than ever, noticing plenty of details they hadn't before, as well as a number of glaring issues that marred players' experience at launch.
I was about to say, it was not a good remaster. Oh, is it going to show the guy? Okay, it's going to be that fucking dude's face, or it was like,
in an early cutscene where Desmond first starts reliving Ezio's memories, many players
are
distracted by this bizarre-looking dude in the background.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's barely even in the background. He's like almost in the foreground.
Is he okay? Developer Ubisoft seemed to be just as creeped out as everyone else, and issued an update a month after the game's
that still looks terrible.
Release that removed the creepy guy from ever appearing at all.
That still looks terrible.
With the patch note saying that the weird NPC face was fixed. Guess the game wasn't the only thing that got a facelift. At least we can rest easy knowing we won't see any more of this guy ever again. Call of Duty.
He's going to be in the next Smash Brothers.
Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 released in 2022.
Weird face!
Oh, wait. This is about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 released in 2009. Kind of confusing to give them the same name. In Modern Warfare 2 released in 2009, a rather unexpected discovery was found in an odd place 3 years after the game's release. As on the multiplayer map
I want to play this campaign again. I do have the single player remaster of this campaign. I can't remember if it was good or not. It's on my PlayStation. I need to play that.
There were some paintings hanging on the wall of the bathroom. While the paintings may have seemed innocent at first glance, they hid a message that was offensive to the players who noticed it, as in the frame surrounding the paintings was Islamic text, which when translated reads, "Allah is beautiful and he loves beauty." Khaled Q8 Forever on YouTube uploaded a message to the developer Infinity Ward in 2012, saying the picture frames were deeply offensive, as it's considered disrespectful to say Allah's name in the bathroom or in any other impure space. In response, Activision swiftly apologized.
That message doesn't seem like a bad map.
Temporarily removed the map from the game and re-released it later that month with a new patch that included taking the text out of the frames. While the messages on the frames in the bathroom may have been a mistake, it is suspicious the original frames contained this message at all, seeing as it almost looks like it was purposely placed in a way that wasn't meant to be noticed, which unfortunately it was, only after 3 years of it being there without anyone saying anything.
Oh, wow.
Good on Activision for making things right with the Muslim community and not having a hidden reference to Allah in a room where people do their business, as that's pretty much the last place that Muslims would consider a place of worship.
Sure.
The Quiet Man. The Quiet Man.
Fucking hate this game. This game's so fucking shit.
Released by Square Enix.
Fucking hate this game. It's so fucking terrible.
In 2018 on PC and PlayStation.
I did a full playthrough for it. I fucking hate this game.
4 that switches between live action video and beat 'em up gameplay. In an interesting move, the game
it's shit.
follows a deaf protagonist. So
it was released. So the entire time you can't hear anything that people are saying, which is fucked up because the main character could tell what everybody's saying. Who's deaf? He's deaf, by the way. He can tell what people are saying because he can read their lips. Well, I can't read lips. The fuck? So he knows what they're saying. I have no idea. So it makes no fucking sense. It's the stupidest fucking idea ever. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It makes no sense.
with no distinct sound or dialogue, which confused both players and
Oh, yeah,
critics
yeah,
alike.
yeah. Classic
Without
right there.
sound, you make your way through repetitive, awkward combat sequences with no context as to why you're beating up all these goons in the first place, confusing things even further. The same
They also patched it later. That's what he's gonna say. That made it so that you could hear everything.
character models are
And by the way, the acting is so shit. So my conspiracy is that like they knew the acting was really bad, so it's like, well, we could just mute the audio. I'm not even kidding. The acting's so bad, especially from the main bad guy, that I suspect it's because it's so bad that they said, "Fuck it, let's just make it so you can't hear it because he's deaf."
over and over, and the same actress plays both your dead mom and
And
the
your
woman you're in love
girlfriend,
with.
yeah.
So are we just beating
Very
up the same
weird.
guys repeatedly? Is that my
It reminds me of oh fuck, what does it remind me of? It reminds me of something where like someone looks like their mom or something. Oh, Devil May Cry. There you go.
mom or my crush? And why
Not
do
that he's in love with Trish though. To be fair.
buy a hot dog only to leave it by the guys we beat up?
Yeah, it
Players
didn't
who were
make any
deaf or
sense.
hard of hearing also didn't seem to enjoy the game, with many saying the game's portrayal of being deaf was inaccurate and pointless to the game. Even the publisher Square Enix seemed to recognize how bad The Quiet Man was, including negative quotes from reviews in a
Worst game.
Japanese trailer. This made it seem
Yeah.
like Square Enix had accepted the failure
Fuck?
and threw in the towel.
Actually creeped me out for a second.
The Quiet Man, when unexpectedly they issued a downloadable update 1 week after the game came out that added sound and dialogue to the game after players beat it. Doesn't that defeat the whole point of the game? Many speculated this was done as a way to make up for the negative backlash the game received, although the developers later claimed a DLC with sound was always part of the plan, to see if players' impressions
It probably was.
matched
Because
the
like, why would you even have dialogue to begin with if you were never going to ever be able to hear it? You know what I mean?
actual
You might as well just have them say bar 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 bar. I can't read lips. Any motherfucker play this game can read lips. You might as well have them say nonsense.
story of the game. Right, because confusing your audience to the point of frustration is always a great business strategy.
God, I hate
Unfortunately,
this
this
game. The game sucks so fucking much ass.
update changed nothing, as the game remained an enormous mess with lots of issues. And given the experience everyone had playing The Quiet Man the first time, not many were interested in playing it a second time. Even worse, players still had to get through The Quiet Man at least once without sound in order to unlock the sound mode. And why wasn't it just unlockable when the game launched a week before? This whole DLC thing still seems kind of odd. Then again, all of this does. Worst of all, even after unlocking the
so
sound
bad.
mode with subtitles, the story still doesn't make any sense.
Of course it doesn't.
I think I'm starting to see why they decided to take all the sound out of the game. Sports.
That's so embarrassing. Oh, this game, I forgot about it. Wasn't this game like not was like very disappointing? There wasn't like a ton of glitches too.
Thanks to Professor Boss and Silly Aaron Man for submitting the discovery on the platform formerly known as Twitter. Sports Story came out in 2022 for Switch in a surprise shadow drop from developer Sidebar Games.
Yep.
The game is
Golf
a sequel
Story.
to the RPG adventure game Golf Story, this time adding soccer, cricket, BMX, and volleyball to the mix,
I wonder if
as
it's
well as a
patched
bunch of
enough
bugs
where
and
it's good
glitches,
enough. Yeah.
as the game appeared to be rushed in order to pull off the shadow drop. However, that became even more apparent once players made a discovery out of bounds of the game, as players who clipped out of bounds found
Oh,
a
no.
secret room. Inside the room was an office full of people who said they were the developers of a game called Golf. These developers didn't appear to be having the best time, as they explained their game has a troubled development, and someone keeps requesting new features and that they should have made the game work before adding them. The developers then fight about the dialogue they're writing before someone says, "I wish you would act like a whipping boy for once and actually do something." Another developer says they become despondent and went to the depths to accomplish impossible programming tasks, and that their work would probably end up getting cut, before the developers argued about the cutscenes not working. Guess we weren't supposed to know how stressed the developers were over there at Golf, as the game was quickly patched to block access to the room. However, players still
Wow.
found a way in, though all the dialogue was altered to make them sound happy.
Our staff are all well rested, well fed, and their self-esteem is skyrocketing.
Though maybe
wow.
a little too happy. The developers now say that they're ahead of schedule, and the office is setting records for employee happiness.
Wow.
They now say they've abandoned the notion of creating their dream game and are now maximizing productivity. However, they
Jesus
also say
Christ.
they didn't forget, never deleted a single line of code, and they keep their backups far away, safe in the jungle. But the ferry doesn't go there anymore. Or does it? What? One developer says they're in on their
What?
day off because they just can't get enough of the positive work environment. And this must be how a cat feels when paired with a pet-first absolutist. The developers continue to go on about what a great place to work it is.
Oh, man. Those poor people.
Their well-being coming
Well, I
further
thought they were indie studios. So who's the person that's like add more shit? And who is? I guess has to be. I guess I always like picture like an indie studio, just like like maybe everybody's just at their own house and everybody's pretty chill. So I guess that's not always the case.
and other things the
Obviously
boss
not.
probably wants to hear. I'm starting to think the original developers are buried in the jungle. Well, if this was patched in order to make the developer look better, I'd say that backfired horrendously.
Yeah, I'm about to say no. I think that was all done like by the people. Like patch it and remove all that dialogue right now. That's probably whoever the boss. It was, and then they're like, okay, we will, and then we'll just put like the most insane like we're all great. Like it's obvious like. Once they start saying like we're all great, everything's great, positivity all the way up to the chart, we love it here. Like everyone's going like, yeah, they fucking
Massive
that
Effect,
sucks. That really sucks.
Andromeda.
Did they update that game though at this point for it to be not glitchy? Because I wanted to play it because I didn't play a lot of Golf Story, but I did like what I played of it.
The original Mass Effect trilogy is one of
I'm
developer
not a big golf
BioWare's
guy. Is
greatest
the problem.
achievements, with the original game
So
being
I
one
went
of
having other sports. I was like, ooh,
my favorites of all time. The same
this is no one's favorite. If this is your favorite Mass Effect game, you got a problem.
praise perhaps can't be reserved for Mass Effect Andromeda, which released in 2017 with a new cast and setting, but didn't recapture the magic that made the originals instant
None of the
classics.
characters are
However,
interesting.
Mass Effect Andromeda definitely made an interesting change to the game that made it stand out from the originals. You see, Mass Effect has a pretty crazy history of controversy, beginning with the first game that let you have a same-sex relationship with an NPC if you played as the female version.
Dude, that was ridiculous. I remember Jeff Keighley fighting some fucking fat, ugly woman. About like, you only see like the her ass. You don't see full frontal. You build up a relationship with the character. It's not just sex for sex sake and shit. And of course, like they're like, get out of here, you fucking nerd, or whatever. Like, fuck her. Whoever that old bitch is, fuck you.
Protagonist, though technically this could be explained by the fact the character's species is monogender. The relationship option in Mass Effect sparked massive uproar, mostly with a Fox News segment with video game presenter Jeff Keighley shortly after the first game's release in 2007. In that segment, the host and pundit made outlandish claims about the game, while Jeff asked if they had even played it.
You'll see full digital nudity. Gets to decide exactly what's going to happen between the two people, if you know what I mean.
Have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
Fucking laughing. Fuck you. Go watch your fucking rom-coms. Fucking
with a Mass Effect developer
lady.
In 2021, revealed that this resulted in the publisher requesting that BioWare tone down the gay in Mass Effect 2, which led them...
Well, Jag makes total sense being...
in the publisher requesting that BioWare tone down the gay in Mass Effect 2, which led them to removing the character Jack's same-sex romance option at the 11th hour, confusing players like me, and even Jack's voice actress, who believed the character was clearly queer.
Yeah, very clearly.
That was 2007. And interestingly, in 2017, the opposite happened, as when Mass Effect Andromeda came out that year, players questioned why there weren't more gay options for the male protagonist, especially considering that meant you couldn't get the 3 romances achievement as a gay man, plus the fact he couldn't romance any of his male squad, despite one of the character's species being gender fluid. BioWare actually listened to this feedback and patched the game to be more gay, allowing
way more gay. There's only gay options. You could only be gay. You're gay.
Fluid species.
I want to be gay. You're gay.
Surprisingly, an interesting inverse of the same thing.
Yeah, sure. You can't romance Judy if you're a fucking disgusting man.
Cyberpunk 2077, as in the game, the character Judy can only be romanced as a gay woman. However,
gay. You're gay.
Into the game's console command.
Well, technically you could be bisexual because I'm pretty sure you could cheat on Judy if you want. I had an option where you could. I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure like it was leading into like a romance with who's Johnny's friend that you work with. No, wait, was it him or was it the other guy? The guy you like, your detective, like you're helping find. Aren't you helping find his like cousin or something, or little sister or something like that? I can't remember now. Whatever. Anyway,
Unlock a
I'm pretty sure I had like an option where I could cheat on her if I wanted to.
Intro option with Judy that was even complete
didn't.
with male V voice lines recorded for the romance. While fans assumed developer CD Projekt Red removed the hetero option with Judy, CD Projekt Red clarified Judy was always intended to be gay, and she'll always be gay as the reason for the male voice lines was because they recorded every single line in the game with both male and female voiceovers, just in case there were any mistakes in production or localization across all the different options. Well, respect to the developers sticking more to their guns these days.
Sure, but what? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. If she was always going to be gay, why ever even record the male V voices? I mean, their explanation makes no sense because you could just easily get the male V voice actor back if they really wanted, needed that the romance option. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could. But a giant studio like CD Projekt Red can't get the actor. No offense to the actors that play V, but they're both not. I mean, they're in other things, but they're not like, you know. Just saying.
As is the case with both Judy in Cyberpunk and Jack in Mass Effect, you could just download the mod for the other option. In the end, hackers always find a way.
Hackers win.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.
Hackers win now. I can't wait until the mods for Stellar Blade come out.
That you think I may have missed. Submit through oddheader.com, come join the Discord, or even send me a shout through Twitter or Reddit. Shout out to
Did they add a fat ass to Pyramid Head in the Silent Hill 2 remake? They probably have.
Johnston, Angel the
I'm
Fox,
actually, if they did and he didn't show it, I'm gonna be very upset.
Black EV50.
So it better not exist. Because if it does exist and he didn't show it, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna shit my pants.
Jailbreak, Isaac Murillo.
Too late, I just did. Ooh, I'm naughty.
Kieran Bolton, Nat XD, Nova Vega, The Meatly, Phoenix 157,
The Meatly?
Rackman 22, Riley S, Robert Eisenman, Select, Subrock, and Terrence Stock for their Patreon support. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay classy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Alright, I need to watch more Oddheader. That was fun. Anyway, there you go. That's it. Removed. Banned. Get that ass out of here. I don't want to see it anymore. Anyway, that's it. Bye.